Accountability Club. It's 4:30. It is January 29th. Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good morning.
Great.
The platform is still acting a little funky this morning, but my understanding is the video is coming through. You guys watched a lot of football yesterday?
I was there.
A little bit.
You were there, Rob?
Yeah. Disappointing, very disappointing.
You're telling me, man.
It's your own fumble now.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought about the Ravens. They've been playing so good. I'm like, at some point they're going to have a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Ravens had more yardage. They didn't own the clock. Kansas City controlled the clock. 3 turnovers would kill you. You can't drive all that. Two end zone turnovers killed them. Totally killed them.
It's the story of the game.
Yeah.
And it felt like they, the 49ers were intimidating them. They were luring them into penalties. The one unnecessary roughness where the guy was the second hit from Kelsey. Kelsey seems like an asshole.
Did you see what happened before the game when Justin Tucker was stretching and warming up? Kelsey picked
That
up
was
his
pretty.
team.
I thought that was pretty cool. They were kind of playing head games with him.
Well, a little trash talking kind of thing.
It's got to be cold.
Who was in the wrong spot?
Well, I think I don't know who was there first. All I saw what was on social media. I mean, Justin Tucker was there doing his thing, but then Kansas City was warming up and it looked like Justin Tucker was right in their way.
Yeah, I wonder who was supposed to be there. But that was like I thought he was an interesting guy, but now him and Mahomes. I didn't like Mahomes after his documentary. He just seems like a crybaby.
I haven't seen it.
$45 million a season.
I think it's clear Mahomes he's one of the best players. I mean, Mahomes is the best player in the league at this point. Made the plays. Didn't play fantastic, but he just made the plays. I mean, there was a lot of other factors after watching a lot of football you guys have seen too, but it you can't turn the ball over. It's like the number one thing. You don't win a game if you don't run a great business if you constantly have, critical or it's tough to run a great business if you have some blunders, like significant blunders along the way. Same thing in a short game. You just can't make those mistakes. And Kansas City's a good team.
Talking about it. I mean, they're a playoff team. I mean, they know when everything's on the line, and that's the Ravens just couldn't get things firing.
Andy Reid is also
probably
kind of a mad scientist.
What's that?
Andy Reid, the head coach. I mean, he's kind of a mad scientist. If you think about how many big games he's been in, over the course of his career, is just unreal.
Yeah, I feel like whatever they did defensively and whatever, they pretty much shut our offense down, in a good way at the beginning for the first half.
Well, what's interesting is Kansas City does not have a great run defense, and we didn't run the ball. Yeah, that totally blew my mind. So,
well, we gave it very, very early.
Yeah.
Very early.
It's weird how they kind of bottled up Lamar too. Like Lamar seemed, especially in the second half, he seemed uncomfortable. He held the ball in the pocket a really long time. A lot of times, it was weird.
Well, Ron and everybody else, but
the cornerbacks must have been playing real well.
Yeah, it relates though to business again. Similar is that Lamar was just having a hard time. His decision making was slower. Like when his opportunity to pass wasn't there, he delayed and then would take off late. Simple things. Like whereas, he didn't. He wasn't making great quick decisions where He could then take off for he had a lot of space at times to run when there wasn't something there. So decision making was slow too. But it's a big game, man. You know, I mean, you got to be ready for that big moment. And I just thought Kansas City did what they needed to do. Simple as that. And it made the Ravens have a very difficult time. Didn't fire on all cylinders.
Yeah, I saw something last night. I think Lamar's got the worst record in playoffs. Quarterback. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he wants it so bad. It's just it's an interesting study of preparation, but I also feel like there is like a lot of overconfidence. A lot of people in Baltimore, it just seemed like we're already talking about the Super Bowl, like they were just going to blow through Kansas City. You know,
a lot of people they're just not.
Rob,
go ahead.
I was going to say anybody. I mean, do you have a sense that they didn't properly prepare? I mean, obviously they didn't execute, so there's probably lack of proper preparation for what they were up against.
I think it's just sometimes. I mean, you know, I played college soccer, college lacrosse. Sometimes you run you aren't at your best because the other team are doing things that are, you know, counterbalancing what you're doing, and they're very good. And sometimes you're not as sharp as you need to be. But the fans, I was not at any point. I love the Ravens. I wasn't overconfident thinking like this is a no-brainer. They were playing Pat Mahomes, man. He's proven he's battle tested. Everybody, you know, I mean, there's something to be said. Lamar is on the uprise, but he's not there at the same level. I mean, he has tons of talent, but Mahomes also has a really good unit behind him, but I don't know. But yes, I agree. I think everyone was saying that their fans were overconfident. I think that's fans that just don't know any better about sports, quite frankly, because there's no way that was going to be an easy game. So.
I hate it when the Ravens are the pick, you know, when all the bookies are giving them. I hate when it's better being the underdog. I feel like the Ravens are an underdog team. I think they're motivated better, which is just a psychology thing, right? Too. Like just
Mahomes was fired up about being the underdog. He's like, "Are you serious right now?" That was, yeah.
Feel fresh in the wings a little bit.
I think football and these games are metaphors for success that, you know, you can study and just, you know, figure the lesson. You know, basically somebody's going to out prepare you. You know, I don't know. That's what I like backing up early. Very few people are going to out prepare me. In my market, it's gonna definitely carve me a little niche of business for sure. Being better prepared, better organized, more time. Yeah, it's not easy, and it's a niche certainly, but you know, I think that's the whole metaphor with.
Yeah, there's preparation and execution. I mean, you can't sit there and say that the Ravens didn't prepare. I'm sure they watched tons of film. I mean, they were talking about Lamar watched every single game that Pat Mahomes played this year. He watched all the film. So it's just a matter. I think it's preparation plus execution gets you the results you need. So we didn't execute.
Yeah. Well, guys, we hit our time. I gotta work on this platform, figure out what's going on. I feel like, you know what it probably is? I have these internet repeaters throughout the house. It's probably a down repeater or something. Anyways, see you guys in the morning.
Hey man, have a great day.